injured right now.
Breaking news, Odell Beckham Jr. done for the season.
There's a lot of people out there that feel like not only are you playing better as a quarterback, but the team is better
to second place
without
on the leaderboard
OBJ.
of the US
I don't
Women's
feel
Open
that
on
way. What do
Saturday,
you say
Amy
to those
Olsen
critics?
unexpectedly
I hate it for
suffered
Odell
tragedy that
because
night.
I love the
Her
guy.
father-in-law Lee
and
suddenly
he
passed
truly
away.
works his
The
ass
final
off.
round was suspended
and
Sunday and
we
pushed to
didn't have
today,
an off
giving
season to
Olsen
get
a
into this
chance with a
system,
heavy
and
heart
we were
to pursue
getting
her
better
first
around the time that he got hurt.
It's
And
essential.
so
As long as I
it
get my
was
family,
really unfortunate
friends,
timing.
Mosquitoes.
You having fun in post-game press conferences.
Really speaks.
What's up with
Really
that?
Just a little
Michigan
mix-up
moving
of,
forward.
references, some different stuff.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Like, oh no, that's just every writer's role.
There's a thing going on in the QB room to have to slide in a certain quote, or there's a fine that I have to pay.
I think Miles took the approach of, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
It has to work with the question. I can't just straight up say it.
What's different about you now as opposed to last year?
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, then I don't do that.
Man, I appreciate it, and go get that W is really all I can say. You passed the quiz against Tennessee. Now it's the test against Baltimore.
Every week after this is a test.
And Monday Night Football's Lisa Salters is at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland for tonight's game. Lisa, the Browns have won 4 straight. They're really surging right now. What have you seen that's behind the Browns' recent surge?
Yeah, Ryan. Well, the Browns, like you said, have gone 4-0 since their bye week to get to 9-3 for the first time since Bill Belichick was the coach. Let that sink in. Baker Mayfield told us that he believes that bye week may have been the turning point of the season when they realized they could have something special. Mayfield said they were exactly halfway through the season, 8 games in, and said we have a chance to figure out what was going well, what wasn't, and what adjustments that we needed to make. He said we were sitting at 5-3, and while that wasn't spectacular, he said we knew that there were a lot of plays that we could have made to have an even better record. And a month of victories later, they have clinched their first winning season since 2007. Browns players say there is a definite buzz in their building. Jarvis Landry told me everyone is excited, but he said we've all still got that look of urgency in our eyes, knowing that we have to keep working and have to keep getting better. Ryan?
This is a Browns team that might be pretty dangerous if they make the playoffs, Lisa. So let's talk about the Ravens. They've had 23 players on the COVID reserve list since November 22nd. No other team has dealt with an outbreak like this. What's the state of this Ravens team?
Weird and bizarre. That's how Ravens head coach John Harbaugh described the last few weeks for his team. He told us things were changing hour to hour, positive COVID tests, negative COVID tests, 2 games rescheduled, a total of 5 times, and they had to play the rival Steelers without the reigning MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson, who tested positive on Thanksgiving Day and told us he spent most of the next 10 days after that sleeping. Jackson cleared the COVID list in time to play last Tuesday against the Cowboys and rushed for 94 yards and a touchdown and also threw 2 touchdown passes. But Jackson told me he was definitely more fatigued in that game than normal. He said he feels 100% healthy now and was able to really mentally reset during his time off the field. Jackson said he may have been trying to do too much earlier in the season, trying to make plays happen. He told me, I can't overthink or put too much pressure on myself. I just have to go out there and play Lamar football.
Wow,
Right.
well, playing Lamar football at 100% is certainly a tough situation for the Browns. And by the way, at 7-5, a win would certainly help the Ravens' playoff push. Kickoff is at 8:15 Eastern in Cleveland. Lisa Salters, thanks so much.
Now to another Cleveland team. After 105 years as the Cleveland Indians, the organization officially announced today that it's dropping the century-old nickname, becoming the latest sports team to dissociate itself from the Native American moniker. Team owner Paul Dolan said the franchise will keep the current nickname in place through the 2021 season and until a new name is chosen. Dolan had more to say in an interview with the Associated Press. He says this: "It was a learning process for me, and I think when fair-minded, open-minded people really look at it, think about it, and maybe even spend some time studying it, I like to think that they would come to the same conclusion. It's a name that's had its time, but this is not the time now, and certainly going forward, the name is no longer acceptable in our world." Dolan also had this to say about the potential backlash from longtime fans. "I fully understand it. I consider myself a 5th-generation Clevelander. It's in our blood, and baseball and the Indians are synonymous, and that goes to the whole intent versus the impact thing. Nobody intended anything negative by our attachment to the name Indians, but the impact has been tough. And now, Tim Kirchin joining us. Tim, what is the historical significance of this major decision out of Cleveland?
Well, this is a really big deal. I mean, they've been the Indians for over 100 years, but clearly it was time for a change. And it was inevitable after the Indians a few years ago got rid of the Chief Wahoo logo. I know the front office guys in Cleveland were really determined to make a change here, but it wasn't really until Tito Francona really said, I'm okay with this. Francona is revered in Cleveland. He loves the Indians. He loves Cleveland. I think that really pushed it along. So now they'll take the 2021 season to come up with a new name. I don't think it's going to be the Cleveland Spiders. I don't think it's going to be the Cleveland Rocks. I think they're going to take their time and try to find another name. It'll be really interesting what they come up with. Again, they've been in Indians for the longest time.
Yeah, I read that they want to be very thorough and they want to make it right when they ultimately do make that decision. Let's now shift to free agency, which has been actually slow moving out of the gate. Which team should we